Welcome to So Guided, a spiritual travel guide for the curious.
Join us as we dive into the mystical, high-vibe ways we can connect to the universe and ourselves. We are trying anything and everything woo-woo. Whatever the result, mind-blowing, unbelievable, or hilarious, we promise to share in truth.
Ready to explore? Suspend disbelief and let's discover the mysterious together. Hello and welcome to another episode of So Guided. Today we are talking about something you've asked about and we love, crystals. We love crystals. They're all parts of our life. We use them in our bedrooms. We have them in our pockets jangling around. We have them at business meetings. So we actually couldn't figure out how to wrap our brains around teaching crystals. So we don't. Instead, we're about to tell you all our favorites and how do we use them in our lives. So you have questions, so do we. Let's do this. Hello, friends. We're back.
Hi, everybody.
We are doing an episode that you've asked for a lot, and it is crystals. We are so happy to talk about it. We love the subject. And if we're being honest, the reason we didn't do it the first season is it's daunting. There's a lot of info. There's a lot of info. And some of it kind of is boring, or you could research it. So what value add do we have?
Every crystal episode of any other podcast we've ever had has an expert on it talking about it. And we're like, this is not us. So how do we do it?
We decided we're not going to read off the internet, but we're going to tell you how we use crystals pretty much every day in our experience with crystals. Our hopes are that if you don't already have one, maybe by the end we've empowered you to go find one, but we're going to tell you how we use them. So let's do our weekly woo-woo. Mine's light, but we've always talked that one of the signs is when you hear a word over and over again that's kind of out of the norm. So the word of the day for me is Kundalini. It's a subject we haven't dived into. I've had a curiosity, but it goes away. But I have had repeated come to me. I did a reading and Kundalini energy and it being a part of my whole being and a part of my purpose came up. My dad randomly keeps bringing up Kundalini. The other day I was on like our So Guided feed and Kundalini came up on what the purpose of it is and what to explore. So obviously I'm going to explore it.
I love it. Well, mine's very similar in that it's one of those signs that doesn't hit you in the face. But when we did our sign episode, one of the things that they say is a sign is when someone brings up is totally different than what you would expect them to say or do, but it may be something that you're thinking about. And this happened to me where I've actually been thinking about the podcast, but we've been busy. And I was like, I don't really know like if we're gonna have time to do this. And it was just in my head, the podcast and just us getting together. And randomly, my neighbor, who I don't think even listens to our podcast, so it wasn't specifically about our podcast, but she randomly texted me and was like, God, I just wish I had a new podcast. And it was one of those things where I was like, to be honest, didn't say, listen to mine. It wasn't the time or place. But it was one of those things that was so funny because it was like, she just reminded me that people need podcasts. People need this. And the second I heard her or read the text, I was like, this is my sign. And this is a random thing that I have to take as a get your butt in, let's do this. So
can I double up on your woo-woo?
Yeah.
All right. I meant to tell you off recording, but I'm going to now share with everyone. I found a new podcast that I couldn't wait to tell you. And it's called Woo-Woo with Rachel Dratch. And I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. She's a Saturday Night Live comedian who does like some of the funniest characters. And I heard it on, a friend told me to listen, and we listened to it in a car ride. Listeners, please listen to it. It's hilarious. She's part skeptic, part 100% believer, but basically she's friends with a bunch of celebrities, and her favorite convo with her friends is woo-woo.
That's so fun.
And so she decided to make a podcast about it. It's hilarious. So light, so it's not like dark and deep, but it's so fun and entertaining that I could listen with my kids, and we listened to it on the way to Vermont. But the other part, to back up what you're saying, I thought people want to hear about woo-woo. And that podcast is mainstream, so it supported our mission.
I love that.
Anyway.
So now let's get into our actual topic, which is crystals.
Yep.
And as we mentioned, we kind of look at this differently. Like, we are not experts. We don't know about the makeup or the energy or the geometry or all the words, the minerals, the makeup, all the stuff that can come along with a crystal expert. We're just regular people who have found them to be beautiful, started getting into them, started looking and learning a little bit more about them. And now I would say we have crystals all over.
Everywhere. You just picked me up from my house and you had like 3 giant crystals in your console.
Well, I also had them in my bag. I came over with rocks in my bag to do this episode. I mean, the reason we have them is because not only are they pretty to look at, but they do exude a certain energy. And I feel like sometimes while that feels like somewhat ridiculous and like, is this real? Other times I'm like, dude, this is so amazing. And this crystal makes me feel good.
Sometimes I think a crystal's a Dumbo's feather. And what I mean by that is it's something that like, if it gives you the false confidence, then yay, it makes you feel better going in a meeting or all the reasons we're going to tell you we use them. I sometimes feel like I have a pocket full of rocks and I'm a ding dong that I'm into it. But on my best days, why not believe in them? So with that thought, I think we've populated them around our world. I also love beautiful things, as do you, and they're pretty. Mm-hmm. So anywho, let's believe in them for the purpose of today's convo.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Let's go strong.
And I think we do believe in them.
Yeah, I'm 80-20.
Yeah, 80-20 belief.
Yeah, so let's go. Cool ways we use them every day are in placements that are kind of permanent, like in our house.
Yep.
So we both had read that citrine in the left-hand corner of your house from where you walk in your door brings you luck and abundance. So we both have that.
Yep.
I even have it in my rental, in my non-permanent home, and I did it in my house before I moved out, and you do that too.
And yep, so spring wealth, abundance.
So why not?
Yeah, citrine,
so why not?
left corner of your house.
So P.S., Etsy, that actually is one of the cheaper crystals. I remember when we read this, we both just got them sent off with Etsy, and we had them in our door in the corner within a week. One that you do, and I keep forgetting, could you tell me what you do over your doorway?
Oh, yeah, I read this, and I love this. So over your doorway, you put smoky quartz in black obsidian, and it's supposed to protect the energies of your house. So it's supposed to keep out bad energy, keep out like bad juju or just any negative, and like suck it up so it doesn't come into your house, so that your house is basically an area of positive energy and it gives protection. So I have it over all the doorways. I went a little crazy. I bought like a bag on Etsy of these little baby ones and put them on all the door frames because it's supposed to do the same thing.
And no one could see them.
And no one can see them. And then I also put them on the windows, and I do it in like my kids' room by their windows. So like, again, you know, kids are little balls of energy, and like I want them extra protected. So right on their windows, they have the smoky quartz, the black obsidian, and I feel like nothing negative is going to come through their window, and it's going to block it and keep them protected.
That.
Yeah,
I love that. Can you remind me to do that? I've been meaning to.
I feel like it works too.
I know,
Again,
I'm gonna try.
Like I like the Dumbo's feather analogy. I haven't used that in so long, but
it's
like,
such a real one.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
a good one.
I mean, it's also like what the pill effect. What is it?
Placebo.
Placebo.
Yeah, it's a placebo.
But okay, if it works, it works. If it's making me feel extra juju.
Right. Well, and the kids, I feel like the kids do like it too, and they're into it. And they are like, even on the windowsills, they're pretty little rocks. You know, the smoky quartz is a pretty gray like crystal.
I agree.
The black is just a very smooth black rock. It's beautiful.
Pretty.
I feel like it sucks in bad energy.
I love that.
It's a heavy, dense.
Well, that brings me to one of my next ones, which is one of my everyday pocket ones. So one of our favorite ways to use crystals is to get little baby ones that, an expert tip on that, you don't want nuggets that are round and hard. You try to find the stone you want in a flat pebble, like smooth, so it doesn't look like you have tumors in your pocket.
Yes. Yes.
And also it's just, they disappear. But I carry, and you carry, pocket stones.
Yep.
It's funny, I got a trio that's my dynamic trio, but I used to, and when I'm in a different space in life, I need 3 things right now, so I have 3 I pick. But in other times, I have a bunch of pocket crystals, and I take what I feel like working on that day. Right now, I personally need pyrite for like inner strength. I have.
What's pyrite look like?
It's fool's gold. It's the shiny gold. It's like
it's
my spirit.
Okay,
so like my inner spirit kind of shines. It's like, because I have felt dimmed lately.
I love that.
And so I found the littlest little baby one, and that's one of my everydays. Black obsidian is the other to get negativity away. And the third is just a pink flat rose quartz. And it's for self-love and love of others. So I have these 3 little babies. They're my pocket crystals, and I put them in every day.
I love that.
What are your pocket ones?
So,
do you have every day, or do you do it by need?
I do it by need, and in full transparency, I have all these little crystals, and sometimes I don't necessarily even know what they're supposed to be doing, but I just look at the one I'm in the mood for. I'm like, I'm being drawn to this one today. I just put it in my pocket, and I don't know if it's again, for self-love or what it is. But I'm like, if I'm being drawn to this one today, there's obviously a reason. And I feel like it's a very intuitive pick where you're just like, hey, I need this. And I wear like basically black leggings every day. So I have the Lululemon pants and with like a little side pocket that I just slip them right in. And again, definitely want flat ones because otherwise it looks like a weird bump on my stomach. But that's really where I feel like I've been intuitive in it. There is one that I like, which is like the Ruby Fuchsite. It's green and has little specks of ruby, which is pink. And that one is for self-love also. It's for connecting with your own life force. So I feel like it makes me like connected to myself and not taking in energies of other people.
Ooh, that's
so
a good
like, because I just
one.
feel like it's like a good one where it's like, okay, I'm in myself, not getting the vibes of others. It's not necessarily a protection one. So sometimes with that, I do like the smoky quartz, which is another protection that we talked about over the doors, but that's a big one.
Yeah. Well, those pocket ones are fun. The other cool way I use one every day is, you guys know I'm a designer, so I like to incorporate them into designs of my own home. And I sneakily put them in people's houses that don't even know I'm giving them good vibes. But one of my favorite for a coffee table chunk, often you could get them really big as like a feature beautiful piece. I like to style them on coffee tables. You put 2 to 3 big coffee table books and you put this on top and it's beautiful. And it's white with the blushy tones. It's apophyllite and stilbite. And the combo of these two crystals are supposed to clear air and create beautiful communication and harmony. And they say they're really good in home spaces where there's all different personality types and it helps to harmonize a home. It's apophyllite and stilbite together. I have it in my home. I've done it in others and I love it. And the other designy way I like to use crystals is they're really beautiful getting geodes and using them as bookends. So you get the vibes of whatever crystal's inside of the geode and they're gorgeous and they look super stylish. So that's my designer tip of the day.
I love that.
And you know, I helped design your house. We have crystals in your house.
Yes.
Just even putting one on a stand that's gorgeous and showing it off and letting it shine in your room.
Yes.
Yours is amethyst, right?
Yep. I have amethyst in my room and that is a heart healing. It's also a protection. It's a purple, which is like intuitive. So it matches with the chakra. That's one that I love in my room. It's also like calming for a bedroom, they say. And bring like good vibes. The other one that you put in my house right at the doorway is clear quartz. So how we talked about over the doors is like the smoky quartz, but the clear quartz is right by my door. And that is supposed to actually bring in good energy and again, clear the air, clear the space, and just highlight all the good energy within your home.
I love that. And that's a big, gorgeous piece.
Yes.
That's my second part of like the crystals. They're just pretty. They make you happy.
They are.
And
you know what's funny is crystals are becoming more popular because that one that's at my door is so pretty. And I got it at HomeSense. You can get these things at TJ Maxx.
They are hiding in Home Goods and HomeSense. They're hiding there.
I love that piece at my front door. And then the other one, which you had helped me pick, is just a big chunk of rose quartz, which I love.
That's really good
and that's
for
very
home.
good for love and just keeping a loving energy within your home.
The loving and harmony are like really good keywords for looking for a stone in a house. Another category of fun ways to use them are bedtime crystals. These really overlap with our children. This is so much a part of my bedtime routine with my children. I almost feel like a wild woman sharing it. But when I went deep in all of this goodness, I learned that putting things by your bedstand can influence your dreams and your sleep, which is part of one of the most important parts of our life is sleep time and dreamland. And that's when we're accessing our subconscious and other levels of life. So to influence your dream state, to put crystals near it is to put your body in balance with what you need.
Love that.
So on your bedside table, if they're bigger stones, so like Brian had gifted me and the kids around the time I was into this stuff, angelite, and I couldn't love a stone better. And it's one of the little ones that stand up.
Tower,
little angelite tower. And it stands at my bedside. It's blue, soft blue, which is how you and I decorate. So easy for us. So that goes next to me and it feels like my angels are with me when I sleep. And the name is what it sounds like, where it brings angels to protect. And so I have that one. And I have amethyst, as you mentioned, it's for insight. So it also, as far as the dream world goes. can elicit psychic dreams and being in touch with your intuition while sleeping. There's so many levels to it.
Weren't you doing one under your pillow for a while? What were you doing? What was that one? Because I've never done that where actually, because you weren't sleeping well and you said it knocked you out when, like, it helped.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. And this is the easiest thing. Like, I'm like talking out my rear about the crystals I'm telling you because they're the ones I remember the most. Every once in a while, there's a direct use, like you said. So that day I probably Googled, I have insomnia, and I used the right one. What it is, I don't know. It's probably one of the ones I'm talking about, and I just don't remember. But you're absolutely right. So the kids and I both sleep with crystals under our pillow. They say that's the most potent.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, you don't want chunky. You kind of need little guys, almost like pocket size. So my kids and I have collected so many crystals, just like the size of sea glass at a beach. So like we have bowls near our bed where like in our bedrooms, all of us, and we kind of pick what we might need to go under our bed, our pillow. So like, for me, I haven't been using that lately. It's just the ones on my bedside. But you know, one of my favorite objects in my whole wide world. I told you the best gift I ever got from anyone.
Oh, yes, of course. This is amazing.
My brother gifted me a weighted blanket, but it wasn't any weighted blanket. It's a crystal-filled weighted blanket, which, hello, that's like the best thing I've ever gotten. It is my adult baby blanket. Like, this is my boo-boo baby bear. And when it's summer, I'm so sad that it's so hot I can't use it. But it's amazing. So it has clear quartz, amethyst,
I love that.
and rose quartz. So apparently those are a trio that is really, really wonderful for sleep.
Wow.
Calming, clearing, all the things.
Loving. It sounds like you're just wrapped in like,
oh my God, it's
like
everything.
goodness.
It's everything. It is, and I will say, Sunday Citizen, this is not sponsored. You guys know we're not big enough to be sponsored. I'm just sharing, so if you want it, it's amazing. But one of my favorite routines with my children when we go to bed at night truly is we talk about what would you like to dream about, what would make you feel calm, and we find the piece that we put under their bed, and it's a part of our bedtime routine. That. So bedtime ones.
And do they just intuitively like pick?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yep. I like
Sometimes they'll say, Mommy, can you pick it for me? And when I do, I think I'm now aware enough of what the colors mean that I'm picking probably for what I know they need. But I think the bedtime ones are the intuitive selection in my life, either them or me.
Right.
So that's always fun. To that effect, like one of the things I think about at bedtime, our everyday use, is sometimes they work really awesome for like test taking, for power at work.
Yep.
Something that like will actually invigorate something that you need a specific target usage for. So when the kids are going to take a test they're afraid of or that they're stressed about, I'll give them something that's calming. Or there's a very cool crystal that I use for work and for the kids' test taking, and it's rainbow fluorite, which is good for concentration, for claiming your power and your creativity. So rainbow fluorite is one that I have near my laptop that I actually keep in my office at my desk for creativity and work, and it helps for focus. So that's a really good test taking one. Rainbow fluorite's cool because it has benefits of the 3 different colors that are within it. Green, purple, and white.
Yes, you got me one of those, I think. I think I have one that's where I keep at my desk, too, my home office. And it's so good.
Yes.
And then also for work, I have blue agate, A-G-A-T-E.
Agate?
Agate? Or agate. Agate or agate, one of the ways. Anyway, am I wrong? Is it agate? What is it? Agate?
It's agate. Oh. I think, but they were making me laugh at the agate.
Okay, whatever it is, that's what I got by my office because it helps with communication. And I feel like I'm on a lot of meetings, I'm on a lot of Zooms, and I want to be able to clearly articulate my point. And so I use that at work, and we also use that here when we're doing the podcast. You have one, and you have a blue, celestite?
Blue celestite?
Oh, celestite.
But blue celestite, that's actually a really good bedtime one too, by the way. I'm pointing as if y'all can see. We have one right next to the laptop while we're talking and recording. It's one of my favorites. So pretty. You could get big chunks for not a crazy amount. Yeah. And they're gorgeous. It's like if you can imagine amethyst, the blue version of that.
That's a good description.
That's the one that we use every time we podcast.
Yes.
I have that out. And then you like the blue. Blue relates to the throat chakra for communicating your truth.
Yes.
So we love, that's our podcast color, we'd say, is one of the blue crystals is because when we log in, truest, deepest desire is that we're talking from authenticity and speaking truth and not like blah, 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 which I know we do. But if we're doing it right, we're tagging it, we're getting in touch with our truth. So there's ones that you could use for, I need this today. I'm taking a test. I have a meeting today and I need to be on point in communicating. I need to focus and get a lot of work done today. These crystals, put them near your desk, put them near what you're doing, and they will amp up what you need.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. So any other fun ways that you can think of? The only one I would ask you about is, because you're such a big meditator, do you have any favorites when you're meditating?
Yes. My absolute favorite meditating crystal is selenite, which is the easiest to buy. It's the one that's clear, the cleary, whitey one. And I have towers and I have votive holders, and selenite is the selenite wands.
It's like the one you can't really see through. It's not clear. It's like the white. I know exactly what you're talking about. You can use that to supercharge other crystals, right?
It actually could charge crystals. It could clean crystals. But it's also known to be the meditating crystal, and it gets you in touch with higher source. I have, like, if I were to put like a room full of one crystal only in the world, it'd be this one. I just feel a calling to it. I love it. It's clean and pure.
I think you got me, it sounds like Jenny buys me all these gifts, but she just randomly, we just know each other for a long time. You got me a little selenite bowl, and I keep crystals in there to like supercharge them. I actually have never used selenite to meditate, which is hilarious. I've used it for other things.
How do I know you and I haven't done this for you?
No, I haven't used it to meditate. What I always use to meditate, desert rose, which is one that it looks almost like a fossil. It's not like necessarily shiny. It's like a fossilized like bone almost, but it's in the shape of a rose, which is why it's called a desert rose. And basically it's for grounding. And so when I meditate, although I'm trying to get to an alternate universe and get in my head, I feel like one of my things is really needing to be grounded. That helps me stay in my body, which allows me to then meditate. So that's one of my like meditating ones.
Well, the cool one about the one you're saying is it doesn't look like any other one. It truly looks like a rose. Yeah. So it's just a fun one to have for looks. But also, you know what grounds? It's one of the cool things about that one. It's supposed to be both grounding. It has dual powers. It's crown chakra and first chakra. It's supposed to also have white crystals within like the sands of it. And it's grounding and connecting to spirit.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. I'm so intuitive for like knowing to do that for meditation. That's amazing.
It couldn't be a better one to meditate with, actually.
Wow.
Good girl.
That's amazing.
Good job.
Well, and something else that you reminded me of when you were talking about the selenite, how there's wands, how there's like how there's, they come in bowls. One of the things I think is neat is that the different shapes can sometimes mean things too. So if you have like a tower and you put it near you, it can that's supposed to shoot out the energy across the room. You can have it but you don't like that. You can have it pointing to you. And I've done that with meditating. When you have these different shapes and these different like tools, like if you have them pointing at you or pointing away from you, if you're trying to move bad energy away, you can have the smoky quartz point away from you. It's just cool ways to like use them and do like a little crystal either on you or around you.
I forget about that.
Right?
You're absolutely right. The direction makes a difference.
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, you said too, when you talk about meditation, I'm out of my meditating days, but they do say that like if you have a certain thing you're working on, you should hold it, I think, in your non-dominant hand. So for me, left, and you could take a crystal that you need to bring into your meditation to work on it. So that's actually really interesting. And I used to do that, like spot treatments. Like a crystal I wouldn't normally hold. Like, I need to work on this today, so I'm going to meditate with this stone. So that's something that's cool too.
Oh, that is cool.
I'm guessing that a lot of people aren't meditators, so I'm not going to wax poetic about that. But one thing I will say that I didn't bring up, and then I want to talk about, I love to gift, as you've explained, crystals. And I think if you guys get into them, it's a really fun thing to gift your friends. What are they going through right now? Are they buying a new house? Get them the house package we just said and add Palo Santo to it. I love creating gifts from them with what someone needs in life right now. So I'll typically give the crystal they need. So let's say it's a new house.
Yep.
I would get them a citrine.
Yep.
Because you reminded me, I'd get them a smoky quartz.
Yep.
I'd get a bundle tied with a bow with Palo Santo.
Yep.
And then I'd probably get a selenite wand because that cleans and clears. And I'd wrap it in a beautiful box. And what a fun present to give someone that's thoughtful. But like gifting crystals can be super fun.
So fun and so pretty. And so if they don't buy into the energy side of it, then it doesn't matter because it's still pretty.
It's just pretty.
And they can put it somewhere. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
So let's jump into how we actually pick them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things is like we've used a lot of names, we've said a lot of things. And it's hard to, on a podcast, describe what they all look like. We'll obviously post pictures, but one of the easiest ways that we've learned to just pick them is what color are you drawn to?
Yep.
So if you like something, it's intuitive. Like the color can help you actually just like pick a color, and then that doesn't matter what the exact name is or what the exact type is. The color gives different vibes and can give different healing purposes. So I'm going to go through some of the colors that are out there and kind of share what that color can bring for you.
Perfect.
So if you pick a clear crystal,
Okay.
it's for clarity, awareness, openness, angelic connection, and spiritual guides, goal setting, which makes sense. Clear quartz is a big one that we use.
My selenite.
Yeah. White is the next one, which I think is more your selenite.
Oh.
Is because that's like, there's clear, which is a clear quartz, and like the ones you can see through. Then white is that one that's a little like chalkier. So that's for strength, radiant, healing bones or teeth issues, which is weird, and calmness. I like the calmness of it. Black. So this is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Black. Protecting, fear removing, clearing negativity, extracting disease or pain. So think about the black, like sucking in all that negative energy. Red, which I feel like it's so funny. Every time I see a red stone, I'm appalled by it.
Yeah,
and I actually am like, ew, I don't want it. And then when I read like what it is, I'm like, oh, I think I'm appalled by it because I need it. I think it's actually triggering because I need more red stones. And that's like almost the counterintuitive part of it. But red is for grounding, protecting, pain relieving, heart healing, strength, and courage. And so it's that like root chakra, which I feel like I'm always working on, red stones. And so think about that too. If you're like, oh, why am I so opposed to this? Maybe it's because you need it.
That's so good. Remember that when we got invited to that party accidentally, and it was the oils party?
Yeah.
But they actually said at that is the sense that you don't like, there's a reason. And do you
and you
remember
need
that?
more of it.
You might need more of it. So that's just kind of the application of crystals. And I agree too. Both you and I don't like the color red, except for your stunning, gorgeous hair. But that's not like red. That's
Red.
a different.
No,
it's
I
red,
totally
but you know
get
what I'm
it.
saying.
We do. We're like appalled by
But like red, and you and I both have an issue with being grounded.
It's so
So
true.
it's interesting to note what you're like. No.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's also a funny reminder that we were invited to a essential oil party, and Jenny literally,
I was so mad.
Literally was so mad and wanted to run out. Okay, so the next one is orange. And so orange is creative ventures, getting into the flow, confidence, sexuality, and fertility. I'm shocked you haven't brought up the connection yet with the chakra.
I was waiting for you.
Oh, sorry.
I was opening the ground for you to bring it up.
Oh no, you know I'm not as good with the chakra colors as you are. But orange is another one where I feel like I don't know a lot of the orange stones, but I guess that's like citrine is orange to me, or is that yellow?
I think they classify it as yellow,
Yeah, I do too.
even though it looks to my eyes as orange too. I couldn't agree more.
I don't know. So orange, I actually don't know off the top of my head any orange.
No.
But I like what it does.
Oh,
Getting
you
in
want
the
to know
flow
what?
and
There's some
confidence,
really beautiful
sexuality.
peachy ones that might be in the orange
Ooh.
category. Just got one the other day and I can't remember.
I actually have a peachy one that's like a palm stone, so it's completely round and it fits
Ooh.
so comfortably
Ooh, I
in the
like
palm of your hand. It's orange, and I actually, funny, have no idea what it is, but I have been drawn to it, and so I guess it doesn't really matter what it is. But now I know that will give me some
Totally.
sexuality. All right, the next one is yellow. Mm-hmm. That's our citrine, willpower, drive, goal setting, manifestation, intentions. Oh, this one says exams and study too for yellow,
good.
which I like
Yeah.
to know. Next is green, which is forgiveness, mending relationships, compassion, understanding.
Green's one of those colors I'm not usually drawn to for crystals. So I wonder if I need to look into that.
I know, it's interesting. Well, it's also kind of, again, it relates a little bit to the heart chakra to me because it's green. But I think that's, remember how we talked about the heart chakra can sometimes be pink and sometimes can be green. So maybe you're more drawn to the pink version of
I
it
am.
versus just the green.
I am.
So I feel like that's why. And then blue, which is what we've talked already about with the communication, confidence, direction, expression, stress relieving, and calming. Which you look at blue and it is calming,
Yep.
calm like the water. Purple, spiritual development, feeling seen, which I like, understanding, clear-mindedness, and then meditation for this one,
I love that.
which I can see.
So you just went through the rainbow and you pointed out, so I can further clarify, that all these rainbow colors of crystals do relate to your chakra, which are indeed rainbow from the root up.
Yes.
And one of my everyday uses, I forgot that I do that, I'll tell you, is I had read somewhere along the way that one of them, a real healing way you can use crystals is to lay down and put a color on each physical part of your body of each chakra. So you would go find your most red crystal and put it, red would go on root. Sacral would be the orange. You put the orange on your belly and you go up all the way to the top of your head, and the top of your head would end in white right above your head. That. And the reason I'm saying this is Oliver had a really bad day. He was really out of sorts. And he asked me on his own, Mommy, can you do anything? And I felt silly. It was one of those things where you're just kind of being silly with your kids. So I just played healer with him, if you will. And he laid down, and I had him actually lay on his stomach, and I put him on his back.
Yes. Okay.
And I did it on his back. And he just laid there, and he was so at peace. And I thought, how cool, again, even if it's placebo effect, what a neat thing. And now fast forward to like a month ago. I've been going through it, as you know, and I really probably had one of the lowest dips of like a depressive state about a month ago, where I didn't even feel like me. And we were going to bed. I'm like, Brian, I'm pulling out the crystals tonight. Don't laugh at me. And I had never done this. I mean, for a very long time since I had done it to Oliver. It's not a regular thing. I did the rainbow healing on myself while we were watching TV at night, and I laid still. I swear to goodness, it was like I was in acupuncture. I asked those stones to help heal and balance me like an acupuncture session would. I was so peaceful, and I slept so well that night. I took them off for bedtime, but I laid there during our nighttime shows, still as could be.
And what you were on your back, and you just placed them on your body.
Yes.
And then, and I know it sounds like so weird, but then you just like talk to them and like ask the intention.
There was like a prayer of sorts.
Okay, so you like you're like okay, like and you like kind of like, but you focus on each area.
I did. I mean, and I think it was a little more absent-minded than that, because I wasn't even in a woo-woo mood. It was like, I mean, I would have.
So you just let them do their job without really like. It wasn't like a meditation. It was more just like, okay.
I'm watching crap TV. I'm probably watching Real Housewives, and I literally just put them, and I literally just kind of said a wish is like, I don't know. I've been told you're magic. Can you do your thing? I'm not feeling right.
Which is
it's
fascinating.
Kind of what I did.
I actually like that because I'm asking you for two reasons. Well, the first reason why I like that is because like the whole thing is they say that they have this energy. So their energy is like, I don't want to say more powerful. I don't know if that's what it is. Crystal's energy is supposed to be able to kind of dissipate our energy to make it even keel and where it's supposed to be. And that's how they're magic. And so without you doing anything, you just let them, the minerals like that were connected to the earth and from the stars, they like worked in your body to balance you, I guess is the word.
You want to know what's so cool that you just said that was like a light bulb off on the crystals, that we're like humans. We're like, gotta try. And I think even with crystals, I'm like, I'm going to try to use it this way.
Yes.
There's a beauty in saying, let that crystal do what it's supposed to do. Like, we don't have to do anything.
Right. You don't, exactly. You almost like don't even need to necessarily believe, I'm quote unquote, like you just have to like, they're just there as like, with like, they have, if everything in the world is energy, they are energy, and they are able to like hopefully dissipate or help or protect or do all the things that they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
So that was like my first thing. The second thing, and why is this freaking so, again, it feels like a sign itself. This is the craziest thing. So Nick, my husband, was away a couple weeks ago, or like not even a week, like last weekend. And while he was away, he said he woke up in the middle of the night and he went to the bathroom and he had this crazy chill go through him. And he said he couldn't go back to sleep and it was so weird. And he was telling me about it. He's like, I think I freaking had a ghost go through. And I'm like, no. And he's like, I think I was. And he's like, this sounds so effed up. Sorry, I don't know who swear on this thing. But he's like, it sounds so effed up. He's like, I think I need you to like do something for me. I think you need to like cleanse me. I'm like, oh my God, I would love to. I'm like, let me like, it's not like he's ever asked this in his life. And he's like, you need to like do one of your things and get it out of me. He's like, use like your sage or use like your Palo Santo. I need you to like cleanse me. And I'm like, okay, I will. I'm like, I need to like do it. And I've been thinking about it. It was like yesterday and we didn't have time yesterday because like work, all this craziness. But I'm like, I'm like, I need to do it. And now you just basically inspired me with the Ollie thing where I'm like, I'm going to have him lay down and I'm going to put crystals in each area. I'm going to let them help me. And then I'll do like the Palo Santo or the sage. And I'm going to like get this out of him because he's like, I freaking like the demons inside of me. He's like, I got it. A ghost like came through his body. All right, he felt it.
I have so many questions right now. Where was he? Was it old?
No, it wasn't old, but he was in New Hampshire. He's in North Conway. It wasn't anywhere old, but it was this is what's interesting to me. It's like our place, but we rent it out. Yeah. So there's so much other energy there. Like we only go up every so often. It's like on Airbnb or whatever. So you never know who was there before. So every time I go up, I like cleanse it. Because I feel like even though it's like, quote unquote our place, it's not. So it's a rental property. So weird. It's other people's energy and you never know like who was there. And one of the things I said to him, I was like, people go up there and like go like rage out. You know, like there's tons of bachelorette parties and people like, oh, it's like a big spot. So there's like groups that go there. And so there's always like, you just know people are partying. And I feel like alcohol and all that like brings like the spirits, you know, like I feel like are like drawn to like people getting like crazy a little bit, and not in a bad way, just in general. It's like I feel like it's like
you need to do the same crystals you do at your house hidden in your place.
I know.
Can you do that?
I mean, I could. Yeah.
Let's do the little ones in your
know,
doors. How much better would that feel?
I would feel better.
All right, this is wild. You also need to know Chris's husband is such a cool supporter of us, but has never asked.
No, never. This is like
not normal.
We've never done like, and I've like tried to like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clear. Like he'll do a full moon ceremony in the beginning of the year or whatever, once ever. But you know what I'm saying? Is that crazy?
Oh man. So one extra ad I have to say that I think, I don't know if I read it or did it intuitively, but I want to make sure you do it. And this actually felt the part that like made me the best was I put black stones at the soles of my feet when I did this. And I felt insanely like, super grounded and like reversing negativity charge. So you have to do that
I'm definitely going to do the black.
Like I'm making up a crystal grid on the spot.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Let's do the rainbow. Okay. And then let's do the black at the feet.
All right, I'm
and
writing.
Smoky quartz above his head. So we're like creating a bubble.
Yeah, yes.
And then balancing is inside. You guys, I'm making this up. But that's what this crystal stuff's about.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Like,
I'm going to do smoky right next to his head. And then above that, I'm actually going to take a clear quartz and have that to like bring in the natural, like the light, to bring in all the positive energy. But yeah, I love the black stones at the bottom.
I love it.
Again, how crazy.
That's a crazy
It's a crazy story, but it's crazy that you just brought this up because now I'm like, I've been kind of like, I don't want to use the word stressed. I'm stressed because he's possessed all of a sudden. But like, I'm like, what am I going to do? I want to make it good because I want it to work.
Yeah, that's a really important subject is crystal healing. It's one of the things people utilize it the most for. This reminded me of another funny story. So many tangents. We have to get back on track. But we shared the story. After a witch retreat, when we were spelled.
Oh my God, when we were spelled, 100%. You guys voted and we were spelled.
We were spelled. By the way, we got a million responses on that one.
If you haven't heard that episode,
please go back. It's probably the funniest thing we've done.
What was it? Oh, it was a tincture. Our tincture episode.
Oh, it is.
That's our tincture episode. But yeah, you'll hear and you can decide if we were spelled as well.
But when we were like feeling funky AF, we were hilarious. We took the day off. I think you and I had like 50 crystals. Remember we surrounded ourselves?
Yeah.
We used sage, Palo Santo, and a million crystals. Anyway, crystals for healing. Now bring me to the next subject because I probably have
there's one more, which is actually because I want to add. So the only other color we didn't talk about is pink. And we're both so drawn to pink. And pink is healing. It's all matters of love. It's 100% healing on all levels. So as we're talking about healing and you're thinking about it, never be afraid of a pink stone. A pink will heal and it's all about love and self-care. Self-care, which I think we all need a little bit of. So that's our last one. So I feel like we know the colors. We know what we're drawn to. The next part is just like when you get a crystal, what do you do? Basically, one of the things we've read is you can set an intention. I actually never done it, set an intention, but that's something you can look at your crystal, hold it, feel it, set an intention. People charge their crystals before they like have them in their house. Again, I've never charged. Do you charge your crystal?
I clean them.
Okay.
I cleanse them. So we were talking before we started talking on the show is cleanse and charge the same? We don't really know the answer. I'm going to call it cleansed, but because crystals can take energy as well as emit it, they do say that you're supposed to like clean it. So it's passed through many hands or whatever. So there's different ways. They say you put it in the full moon.
Yep.
My chosen smudging technique is Palo Santo. Personally, I love the smell of it. So I always do Palo Santo. And I just say thank you for being in my life, which sounds silly, but that's just my little thing. So that I do that every single time.
For the cleansing, I do use the full moon. So anytime it's the full moon, I'll move the crystals just to the window. Yeah. And I don't know if it's like half of the windows don't even have full moon hitting it, but I feel like it's more of like the belief.
I agree.
So I feel like they're cleaned. And especially like again, when you get one from like Home Goods or TJ Maxx, like you definitely Palo Santo,
cleanse that.
Cleansing. You got to be careful, like because some of them can't go in water, because like they say like moon water by leaving water out in the moon and cleaning them is another way. But I get too afraid because some of them will get ruined by water.
Oh, so that's interesting because a lot of you'll see like full moon rituals, like when you read on Instagram, the people we follow in the So Guided feed would say like, do a bath with blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I've never done a bath with crystals.
So I have with rose quartz.
Okay.
Because it's one of the ones, because I knew it was okay and it's like love healing, all that stuff. Right. So I have, and it's been, again, it was nice. That is another way people use them.
I've not. And I think it is because I'm afraid, but also like it feels weird sitting on rocks.
Oh, you're not sitting on the rocks.
Well, they're in there.
I wasn't sitting on it, and I've also just put them right on the corner of the tub, so they're not necessarily like in there with me. I've just been kind of like again the crystal grid. I have put rose quartz. This is ridiculous. I've laid in the tub and put the rose quartz like on my. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah. Oh my god, I have actually put it on my own body.
All right, I'm going to try that. That's a new try.
All right.
Let's talk about, though, how you pick, like, in the store.
You got to find the right store.
You got to find the right store, guys. What the actual heck? There is one in our area that isn't easy to get to, but it's the first one that,
It's the first one we ever went to. It was before the podcast. We wanted to go, and we wanted to check it out.
I went without you first, didn't I? So there's a store that has, it stinks that we don't go there anymore because their selection is insane and amazing. I went in there with Isabel, my daughter, and we went on an errand, the kids and I. I was like, let's go. It was like a day off kind of thing. And I went to the store, and my heart was like palpitating. And then there's such eerie vibes. And sorry for TMI, I have a benign tumor in my head that I live with, and it's okay. And every once in a blue moon, I feel pain in it. And it's usually if it's growing or on something. Anyway, I forget it's there. In fact, I forget it's there till I just told the story. While I was walking through the store, my tumor was shooting lightning pain into my head. And I knew, like, it was such a rare spot for me to feel anything. There was bad juju in the store. Bad juju. And Belle didn't know it. And she grabbed my hand and said, Mommy, I don't feel good in here. And we both, like, had to run out of the store. Like, really intense feelings. So you and I went back, and I told you. So we sat in the car beforehand and did a protection spell. Meditation, right? And we went in, but we still felt funky.
It was awful. No, it didn't even help. It like we did the whole like protect us, like don't let us take in any energy. We went in this store, and my heart was racing. It felt like something bad was about to happen.
50 cups of coffee, or you were in danger.
Yeah, you're in danger. It was like a fight or flight immediate response, and it was like, oh my god, this place is creep, man. Like there is like, and I think like that, like
what was that? What is that?
I don't know, but I think when we talk about like our crystals, like real or whatever, like crystals suck on, like take on energy of people, and we're like always wondering, like, is this real, or are we just being like just liking rocks and like giving them like a fake purpose? But like when you go into a store like that and you can like actually feel it, and again, if these crystals are like taking in stuff, and you can feel the energy, and that was not good energy. And so like if you can feel that energy, then obviously there is energy in these things. And it wasn't like the rocks were bad, it was the environment. It must have been the people who frequent it, or the people who own it. Because like there could have been like some like dark magic. There is dark. Yeah,
it was dark. It wasn't an overload of energies. It was dark.
It was dark.
And then remember, we now have lots of people that are in like a little woo woo like us. We've heard more than 2 people say they can't walk in that store.
Yeah,
that's a bad story.
So
the good story. Let's talk about a good story.
Yeah, so we've actually found, there's another store in the area that we found and we went to, and you go in there and you can stay all day. Mm-hmm. You know, the energy is happy, it's bright, it's fine. Like you feel comfortable, you don't feel in danger, and you feel fine. And so, like, trust your intuition, obviously, and like if you're not into it. But I feel like I'd much rather buy a crystal from a place like that place that's happy and wonderful, and feel like even like the energy of those crystals are.
So that's like a really good tip. I feel like if you walk in and you're not feeling good energy, don't shop there.
Yeah.
But if you walk in and it's normal store vibes, honestly, I've walked in a million crystal shops that actually just feel like I'm at a clothes store.
Yes,
like they don't.
Me too. They're not always a vibe.
Yeah, there's not always a vibe, and that's fine.
Exactly.
I actually just posted about our trip we just went on.
Oh, nice.
Which is like, how good was that store?
So good.
That's local to us. That I'll post it more again because the pictures are so pretty. I'm probably going to use them the rest of my life.
Yeah,
it's like the prettiest store. That one I had a billion crystals. I didn't get. It also made me feel out of touch. I didn't feel any energy, which is weird.
No, I didn't either.
I wonder if all the plants clean it out. Anyway,
that's interesting.
I don't know. But I digress. There's a definite thought that like bring home something from a space that made you feel good.
Yes.
That's just the bottom line.
Yes. And you can, of course, cleanse it if you end up buying something, but I agree. Yeah. I feel like there's enough stores out there that you can feel good. And then we found a lot of crystals just from Etsy. Yeah. And there's like good, like there's good reviews, and there's people and like.
Look for good reviews, and then you know you're in.
And there's like, and that's an easy way to shop. So I think kind of our next stop might be like, why don't we just share a couple of our favorites that we might not have talked about already?
Okay.
All right. You want to go jump in?
Sure. Again, I'm probably going to slaughter them. One of my favorites is apophyllite. And that one I'd actually recommend for, I'm going to give you to borrow when you do the Nick healing.
Good.
And this one is like supposed to put you in like direct relationship to spirit and like clean and like higher good.
What's it called again?
Apophyllite.
Okay.
It's white.
Oh,
And that's one of my meditating ones. So the white ones would be, above crown chakra.
I love that. Okay.
Oh, my beautiful favorite little baby is my aura crystal. And it is this one.
Oh, I love that one.
I'm putting a picture on. I wish you guys could see it. I feel like when I look at it, it looks like fairies live in it. Like it looks
pinkish,
magic.
Purple,
It's
little
lavender, lilac, and it's really, really special. And the meaning, I bought it because it's beautiful. This is one of those I actually put in my bedroom on like bedside books because it's so beautiful and I like that next to me. And it's some version of like different crystals and one of them being amethyst. That's where the lavender comes in. And this is supposed to be like super, super healing and magical, connect you with your inner child and your spirit. And then my last one, and I definitely don't know how to pronounce it, is Argonite. And it's very specifically Argonite star. To me, looks like it's reddish orange. It's the only reddish crystal I've ever been drawn to. And it looks like it could jumpstart a rocket ship. It looks like a little magic thing. It's like has little pieces that go off everywhere. It's so beautiful. And it's my only red I've ever been attracted to. I love it so much. I put it in my pocket in winter as we walk around. And it broke yesterday. And I had just written the name down to tell you about it. And I was like, does this mean something? Does this mean something?
Well, it does mean something. When they break, they say that when a crystal breaks, it means it's taken out all the energy it can. It's done its work. It's taken whatever it needed or given you whatever you needed. And so when you break them, it actually is like a good sign.
It happened directly after my reading.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm not
Oh my God. That is freaking nuts. Oh my God.
So this is so crazy. You probably heard me like run across the room, people. I'm going to show it to you. So
oh my God.
This is for a future episode, the best reading of our life.
With the best astrology reading. One of our,
And I will tell you, I cannot wait to air this episode when we talk about it, but it changed my life, the reading, yesterday. I feel like a new woman.
Wait, that's crazy. When you were describing the crystal, Argonite star, so I've seen this crystal of yours, and you've carried this a lot, but this is supposed to be directly like from the stars, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be like, it looks like a little like galaxy star.
It looks like galaxy.
And the fact that, first of all, you brought it to your astrology reading is perfect, but the fact that it broke afterwards
I've had it in my coat for all winter.
Effing woo-woo is like a freaking weekly woo-woo to the ridiculousness. So whatever you needed to hear, you heard. Whatever you needed to know is like there, and it like literally like broke. No, it exploded with the world. It's so guided.
That baffles me. We're going on so long. I guess we love crystals. You tell me your three.
And I don't want to go on a tangent more, but you remember when you had that other crystal that kept breaking?
The black.
Was that the black obsidian?
Yes, when I was in the weird spot.
Yeah, she kept having, there was a time, this is again before we were even really big into crystals, that you bought 3 different ones, and you were having all this negative energy, and the things kept breaking. You're like, why is
every
this keep breaking?
black crystal?
And you looked it up, and it was like, it's breaking because it's overpowered with the negative energy. It can't suck up anymore.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
So that's like, so it's funny that's like, okay, you're connected now. You're connected to the universe. Like that thing breaking is crazy. Wow. So my first one that we haven't talked about yet, because I feel like I talked about a lot of my favorites, is rhodochrosite. It's freaking annoying. I'm just going to spell it for you guys. RHODOC ROSITE. And this is a pink one, but it's got like a swirl. And so it always reminds me of a snail. And I think I have it in my bras. Anyway, it looks like a snail. I'll show a picture of it. But it's all about self-healing and self-love. And basically, when I'm intuitively just bringing a crystal, for some reason, this one is always at like the top of my list. I pick it all the time because it's super little, it's super cute, and I just feel like when I'm wearing it, I feel like loving towards myself. I don't know what it is, but it's a really like loving one. So my next one is labradorite. You and I both have this one. It's like a black stone, but it has like almost like a sheen on it. So when you look at it, iridescent. When you look at it in different lights, you can see like green, blue, sometimes yellow, sometimes purples. So it's like a really shiny, cool stone. It almost looks like it has mica on it, but it doesn't. It's part of the stone. And it's basically just like for magic and protection. So it's a super connected stone. It amplifies the effect of healing, prayers, meditations, manifestations, and it enhances psychic abilities. So I feel like we've always loved this one as we've been in this whole journey of So Guided. And so I like that one. And it's also funny, this one is tied to Scorpios. Which we both are. So we're attracted to that. So there's, we talk about chakras, we talk about signs, we talk about all the ways these things can connect. So of course there's also a crystal for your astrology. There's a crystal for like anything you could possibly need. Oh, I guess the only other one which I think is worth saying is moonstone. So we love the moon. The moonstone is another one that's like I'm drawn to often. Let me find what it actually means and why I'm drawn to it. All right, so I feel like we've talked about a ton of crystals. We've had some epiphanies throughout the conversation. And I think the more we talk, the more we realize we can even talk more about this.
I didn't realize it. I thought this episode was going to be 15 minutes.
It's really, as non-experts, we sure talked a hell of a lot about this stuff, as if we were experts. So some of the stuff we said could have been pronounced wrong, could have been just wrong in general, but we tried our best, and all the stuff that we learned, we hope you can take and apply to yourself, and maybe try a crystal, get into it, or don't, but if nothing else, they're beautiful, they're fun to try, and I'm glad you guys spent this time with us and hopefully learned a little bit about crystals.
Thanks, guys.
Like the show? We'd love your support. Right now, we're doing an awesome giveaway. Leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Screenshot the review and send it to hello@soguided.com or DM us on Instagram at SoGuidedPodcast. You'll be entered to win a basket of our favorite woo-woo goodies, crystals, cacao, and all the high-vibe goodies we love. Thank you for listening. We've loved being your spiritual travel guides and hope this made you feel more connected. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast player. Your reviews help us create the guide that you are looking for. We'd also love to hear your stories.
You can follow and share your experiences with us on Instagram at So Guided Podcast. Your story might just be our next weekly woo-woo. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the universe. And remember, stay curious, ask the questions. You are so guided.